Hello everybody, my name is Haya Altaleb. I'm a PhD candidate at Obuda University, the Doctoral School of Safety and Security Science. I'm presenting the paper of Digital Education, Government Strategies, Teaching Tools in the EU, and Case Study of Digital Transformation in Budapest for the Smart, Sustainable and Safe Cities Conference 2022 on behalf of Malak Shatnawi and Professor Dr. Ryan Sultan. COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the resulting of social isolation and school closure worldwide, has accelerated the decentralization and the digitalization. The digital games, smartphones, blogs, social media, and learning environment are becoming more relevant as our world becomes more and more digitalized. So the digital education, the government strategies, and the teaching tools that we will talk about government strategies in the field of digital education, especially with the recent pandemic period in the EU. I will talk about essential remote teaching tools, and we will talk about a case study that affects of COVID-19 on the e-learning process and some other related sectors like the work and the e-services. Whether in conventional teaching or virtual one, students need to be able to communicate clearly and effectively to successful in their studies. Digital learning is boosting the learning experience, saver instructor time, helps in participate tracking, provides transparency into the education process for all participants, and much more. We can see some tools that it's using in the teaching virtually recently, like Moodle and Blackboards, Google Classrooms, and Canvas. One of the essential remote teaching tools is the online video tools. Recording your online lessons or lecture and make them available to your students through videos. So the students, if they are absent or studying for the end exam, the videos will be replayed. Using pre-recorded teaching material to encourage the students to learn independently. When a pupils can learn independently, they increase their chances to comprehension. Prepare available links to pre-existing the internet video services. It can help the student to follow up with the teachers. We can use a platform like Zoom and YouTube for that. Teacher must keep track of documents such as test papers and lessons plans regularly. It's critical to have one place to store and manage and organize all of these documents to keep track of them effectively, practically when the teaching is remote. So the second most important essential remote teaching tool is the document management, which we can use the OneDrive, the G Suite, the Dropbox, the MS, the Office 365, the Teams, whatever that's suitable for us. The third essential remote teaching tool is a social media. We can plan live events such as a webinar and keep track of attendance with Facebook and Instagram Live. We can continuously communicate and be present after the online class period has ended. We can share and save important lessons, related information, presentation, and resources with your colleagues and students. We can hold open forums for questions and answers and encourage students to communicate with one another and interact with one another while they are studying or working on their homework assignments. Policy and strategy of ICT in Hungary. The government support was needed to keep training stable through digital learning, and it was provided in a variety conditions to ensure training continuity through the online learning. So the governments launched the Digital Success Program to accelerate the digitalization of the Hungarian society. The country's public education development strategy intend to achieve the following. First, the student graduate from the public school with the digital competences and media literacy, as well as the ability to continue developing these skills through the lifelong learning. The second, involving the digital tools in the teaching and learning process to have more effectiveness and efficiency in the learning process. The Hungarian higher education strategy statements offer a standardization online digital environment that support personalized learning possibilities. So the goal related to the digitalization of higher education is to develop of learning initiative higher education. The digital and methodology of academics reached in a high level, guarantee access of a high quality learning materials and learning tool, development of e-learning systems and material, and integration of online services and electronic forms of learning support, sustainable use of digital devices. We have previously reviewed the policy and strategy of e-learning in Hungary, and now we will talk about the case of France. France has developed a digital toolkit. Primarily, we are focused in two digital platforms, the Fun Moose and the Fun Campus, which is the first one was the portal was released in 2013. It provides the finest of online higher education with a course produced by experts from universities, schools, and other educational institutions. Also, it allows students to participate for free, communicate with others, and grow at their own. The Ministry of Higher Education in France has released a list of technological solutions to assist trainers in distance education and training, including web conferencing software, collaborative tools, and server links and clouds. Today, higher education institutes use several program platforms and instructional tools for synchronized and unsynchronized online education, considering Figure 1 for suggested techniques for remote knowledge gathering and assignments, as we can see. So our research questions in the questionnaire, we first in the hypothesis asks response point of view whether the digital transformation in a different sectors will continue in the future partially or completely. In the hypothesis 2, it was to state the inconformance, restriction, effectiveness from the questionnaire participants' point of view. So the main objective of to access from the participant point of view the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, the e-transmissions, and whether the digital acceleration for study work and e-services will continue even after the end of the pandemic, and the effectiveness of the applied procedure and restriction when using different transportations modes to separate the disease as much as possible. Our used methodology for this research is the proposed analysis consists of two parts, the pilot study test, which shapes the final questionnaire, and the main study, which consists of the hypothesis survey design and the plan investigation, statistical analysis procedure, and implementation by using SPSS version 26. Data results and analysis. Static tests. The static analysis testing and validating of the research use the SPSS version 26 and AMOS software. These analyze that include the check of normality, the check of homogeneity, and analysis of ANOVA. And we will talk about them particularly in details in the next slides. The major statistical analysis include test of multicollinearity. The variables should be independent, and the variance inflation factor VIF values should be measured less than 3 to guarantee the independency between variables. The reliability and validity. Reliability measured by Cronbach alpha to check the stability of the questionnaire sample. The value of Cronbach alpha 0.75 which considers a good level of stability. On the other hand, the validity is used to check the correlation between variables measured by Pearson coefficient as a matrix. For all items, it found significant. Research finding. Budapest digital transformation statistication data. Budapest response agreed that the global acceleration toward the digital transformation and the use of a smart application to obtain e-payments and delivery and services will continue to grow even after the end of the pandemic, and the use of a smart application and e-payment services will have a positive impact on the quality of the life in the future. Since the number of the respondents who work or study partially online is large, this case used a major change in mobility in Budapest, shows us a negative shift in the use of public transport due to the reduced inactivities. The respondents were agreed that the digital study and work will continue even after the end of pandemics. Private car was one of the options considered safe mode to avoid catching the disease from the participant point of view compared to the public transport, which was ranked as a high and extremely high probability to catch, even though the level of public transportation is very good, by the presence of the efficient network, including many barriers to choose from the maintain safety and health concerns during the pandemic. As a conclusion to our study, it presents a methodology with two hypotheses to perform a survey on the effective of digital transformation during the COVID-19 pandemic in Budapest. So it studies the enforced restriction that curb the spread of the pandemic, and also to guarantee safety in the future, is likely continue to apply some health procedure even after the end of this pandemic as a new lifestyle. We reviewed some of the EU government strategies in the field of digital education, especially in France and Hungary. In addition, the most effective tools in e-learning nowadays and how to deal with them for better technology and learning experience. And here is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please contact me on email. Thank you so much and have a nice day.